Learners, in our earlier module, we have learned about the digestion, absorption, bioavailability and sources of carotenoids. This module emphasizes the effect of food processing and the health benefits. Let us now first learn the food processing. Cooking and mechanical homogenization increases the bioavailability of carotenoids. The mechanism by which this occurs is most likely due to release of carotenoids from the food matrix and from the protein complex. It has been reported that increase in extractability of carotenoids in carrots after steaming. However, prolonged exposure to high temperature, example boiling, reduces the bioavailability of carotenoids by increasing oxidation, production of more isomers. Therefore, though the destruction of matrix can reduce the matrix effect, excessive processing could also destroy the carotenoid molecule. An optimum balance must be reached between maximum destruction of matrix and minimal destruction of carotenoid molecule. The improved effect on bioavailability by processing may not occur for xanthophylls. Now, carotenoids as a food product. Carotenoids as a natural pigment are used by industry as a colorant in various food and drink. Many literature support carotenoids have been reported to act as a chain-breaking antioxidant under specific condition. However, due to highly conjugated structure, carotenoids are very unstable and be easily degraded when exposed to oxygen or light during storage or during manufacturing of food. This can cause the loss of their nutritive and biological desirable properties as well as the production of undesirable flavor, aroma compounds. For these reasons, these compounds are not usually handled in their crystalline form, but rather encapsulated form. Encapsulation of carotenoids, mostly beta-carotene, is carried out, which has created an opportunity for the development of carotenoid form of supplementation and food fortification. Simple oil in water emulsion are currently the most widely used method of encapsulating lipophilic functional component such as flavor and bioactive lipids. Hope learners, you have understood the effect of processing and the carotenoids as a product. The foremost benefit carotenoids provide is towards the cancer. It is predicted that the death from the tumors will continue to rise to overall 11 million in a year by 2030. Therefore, it is so important to take adequate steps to reduce or modify the factors affecting the risk of cancer development. Undoubtedly, the simplest one seems to be sufficient intake of fruit and vegetables rich in biologically active compounds. The recent case control studies of diet and lung cancer among the non-smokers confirmed an inverse correlation between lung cancer risk and intake of food sources rich in carotenoids, such as beta-carotene, lutein, lycopene, beta-cryptoxanthin and beta-carotene. The human intervention trials points to beta-carotene as an important factor in prevention of oral, pharynx and larynx cancer. These data are in agreement with further observations that high consumption of fruits and vegetables results in reduction of risk of oral and throat cancer by almost 50%. Many meta-analysis studies support the evidence that lycopene have been associated with the reduction of prostate cancer risk. Research studies data has supported the finding that adequate consumption of fruits and vegetables has been associated with reduced risk of colon cancer. Learners, let us now find out the cardiovascular protection and carotenoids. Carotenoids as highly lipophilic molecules and are expected to be particularly efficient scavenger of ROS within hydrophobic part of cell membrane and lipoprotein, their major transporter, reducing the possibility of oxidation of membrane structure and overall risk of morbidity. One of the classical example of an ROS, that is reactive oxygen species mediated disorder is atherosclerosis, that is hardening of the arteries, which is a result of oxidative modification of LDL in arterial wall leading to coronary artery disease. Due to abundance of this kind of disorder, the investigation on factor that may prevent or delay its development are of special importance. The result of studies of association of carotenoids with cardiovascular diseases and atherosclerosis. On the basis of reported data, the positive correlation between the higher intake of fruits and vegetables rich in carotenoids and their prevention of morbidity and mortality with relation to cardiovascular diseases. Carotenoids play an important role in macular degeneration prevention. The macula, the center part of eye's retina. The degeneration of macula is a leading cause of blindness in older adult. Long-term blue light exposure and oxidative damage in the outer segment of abnormalities in the macula increases the risk of age-related macular degeneration and central blindness. The carotenoids found in retina are lutein, zeaxanthin, which are both dietary origin, and mesozeaxanthin, which is derived from lutein. These three carotenoids are present in high concentration in macula, which is known as macular pigment, where they are efficiently absorbed the blue light. Increasing dietary consumption of lutein and zeaxanthin was shown to raise their serum concentration and macular pigment density. Some, but not all, observational studies have provided evidence that higher intake of lutein and zeaxanthin are associated with lower risk of age-related macular degeneration. The observation that lutein and zeaxanthin are only carotenoids in human lenses that has stimulated the interest in potential for increased intake of lutein and zeaxanthin to prevent the slow progression of cataract. Carotenoids have also been found as an important antioxidant. In plant, carotenoids have important antioxidant function and the quenching of singlet oxygen, an oxidant formed during photosynthesis. The test tube studies indicated that lycopene is one of the most efficient quencher of singlet oxygen among carotenoids. They also suggested that carotenoids could inhibit the oxidation of fat under the certain condition, but their action in human appear to be more complex. Although important for plant, the relevance of singlet oxygen quenching to human health is less clear. Let's conclude, learner. Carotenoids being exceptionally efficient physical and chemical quencher of ROS, that is reactive oxygen species, and have garnered particularly the attention of potential protective agents. Up to date, the number of epidemiological, intervention and clinical studies of a large body data, mostly from and experiments with beta-carotene, lycopene, lutein and zeaxanthin have been collected, generally supporting observation that the adequate intake of carotenoid-rich fruits and vegetables or carotenoid supplement may significantly reduce the risk of chronic diseases. Thus, the beneficial effect of carotenoids administration have been confirmed in case of several types of cancer, cardiovascular, photosynthetic disorders as well as eye-related diseases.